we're going to continue to work with fractions. And so this activity is called rods and strips, how many? Now, these are directions from an activity that you could do with manipulatives in front of you. I'm going to show you how to do it on these slides that you would be able to turn in. Okay, so the directions are you have a recording sheet, which is already in your slides. And then it talks about these rods, where the rods are the Cuisenaire rods. So you may do the same exact activity with actual Cuisenaire rods, and you do it the same way as how I'm going to show you on these slides. And so what you're going to do is you're going to basically try to figure out the fractional part of a rod. So here it says get one red. So you can see a red right here, and then one brown. This is the brown down here. And first they want you to predict about how many of the red would it take to equal one brown. And if you look in the model, we can count. It takes 1, 2, 3, 4 reds to equal one brown. So if we're thinking about fractional parts, we would label these red pieces. Each of them would be 1/4 of the brown piece. So that's how it ties into the fractions. But today we want to focus on all the parts equal. So if you can look, all 4 pieces, the reds, are the same size. So we are making sure that we have equal parts to our one whole, which is the brown piece. Now, if you were doing this not on Google Slides, this would be your recording sheet. Again, your recording sheet would be on the slide. So this is just a sample to show you what it would look like. And this is telling you if you're doing it on slides, this is what you need to do in order for the slides to work. So I'm going to show you what we're doing here. So when you are in your Google Slides, you're going to go up to your menu where it says View, and they want you to turn off the Snap To setting. So if you look, we're going to come down where it says Snap To, and do you see where there's a check next to Guides? You want to come over and uncheck that. That will help the movement of the slides be a little bit better. All right, so now we have all of our settings ready to go. So on this slide, you're going to do exactly what it says. You're going to play. We're going to move these pieces around and make some comparisons. Just make sure you don't change the size. That way you can kind of see, well, how many whites make a red? Or how many whites make a green? How many reds make a black? And the way you can do that, like if we wanted to do a red, you can move a red up just like that. And if we want to know how many whites it takes, you grab a white and you can line it up just like this. So now you can see it took how many whites to equal one red? Well, it took 2. So here's 2 pieces to the 1. So if we were going to put this into a fractional piece, we would say the whites are 1/2 each, because it takes 2 to equal 1 red if red was our whole. So on this one, they just want you to play a little bit. Now, if you mess up and you change the sizes of any of your pieces, you can come up here to this undo button or hit Control Z, and it will put everything back the way it was meant to be. Okay, so on this one, they just want you to play. What do you notice? Which is bigger? How many of this does it make to make the other? So play around a little bit. On slide 5, it's just telling you the names to help you, because it's going to ask you these questions and you'll want to come back to slide 4 or slide 5 in order to answer the questions on the slide 6 and 7, which is where you're going to be using the Cuisenaire rods to find out how many whites make the red or how many reds make the brown, that kind of thing. So this is just identifying the colors. So your work would be on slides 6 and 7. The first column, they want you to predict. What do you think? So without moving anything, what do you think? So here it says, I think it will take how many red to equal 1 brown? Yes, I know that was one of our samples, but you can go ahead and you click in the text box and you can type in your answer. And if you remember your answer from the other screen, again, you can just type it in there. Then they want you to actually move the pieces and find out. So it took, for real, how many red rods to equal 1 brown? And again, you would click in the box and you would type. So that is how you would do this. And there's again slide 6 and slide 7 for you to do this. Just make sure you're paying attention to which colored rods you are using. So again, this is our fractional work, and we're just trying to make equal parts. So how many equal parts does it take